What's up, guys? Max here, madazmoney.com. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful 2021 so far. Got an action-packed video for you guys today. We're gonna go ahead and talk about 2020 and that $50,000 account that I started in May of last year. Going to show you guys the final stats, the final tally in 2020. And then we're gonna use that information, and we're gonna see if we can figure out some good targets that we can hit, some goals for 2021. Let's see what we can do a little bit better, see where we can improve upon, and see if we can grow this account even further. And of course, live trading footage. As you guys know, this Madaz YouTube channel, Madaz Money YouTube channel, is known for live big money trades. So this is going to be no different. We're going to show you guys the live big money trades today on Ncty, taking the initial short, getting smoked, switching the long, bias switching the long, getting dumped. So actually being wrong twice, and then bias switching again, double bias switch back to short, and then nailing it, making it all back and then some with a killer epic trade. I'm going to show you guys how that played out and all that good stuff right after the Madaz Money intro. All right, what's up, guys? Max here, and the first thing I want to do before we start this video is I want to thank our partners. They sent me a lot of cool swag over the holidays, and I haven't had a chance to thank all of them. First up, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to our stock scanner of choice. I've been using them for 4 going on 5 years. Trade Ideas right here. You know, they sent me this really cool shirt. So shout out to Trade Ideas. Again, linked in the description. Madaz15. Promo code for 15% off. Stock scanner of choice. Been using them for 4 going on 5 years. I use them every single day. You guys are wondering how I find my plays. Trade Ideas is the way to go. They also sent me this cool bottle. So shout out Trade Ideas. Also shout out to Centerpoint Securities. They also sent me this cool bottle as well. They also sent me this cool hat. So they opened up a new clearing firm. They partnered with a new clearing firm called Clear Street. So shout out to them. They also sent me this cool beanie as well. So shout out to Centerpoint Securities. That's my broker. I've been using them for also 4 going on 5 years. If you guys are wondering what broker I use. Also shout out to daytrader. I haven't had a chance to thank them. They sent me this bag a while back. So shout out to daytrader. This is my platform. I've been using daytrader now for well over 4 or 5 years. So shout out to daytrader. If you guys have been wondering which platform is in my videos, it's daytrader. If you want fast executions, you want a fast platform that doesn't lag like some of these other platforms that you may be using already, daytrader is the way to go. So the link to all these partners are in the description, video description. Check them all out, guys. But yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the content. The first thing I want to talk about is the new update to the website. I went ahead and posted all the broker statements from the $50,000 account challenge in 2020, where I took the account of $50,000 and made over $4 million in profits in just 7 months. It's all here for you guys to look at it for yourself. Check it out. These are all the statements that I showed in the past, and also showed the actual official broker statements from the broker as well. This is what it looks like. As you can see, it's pretty plain. This is why I don't show it in the videos. It doesn't really give you much information, but it's all there, guys, for you guys to review, to show you guys that I really did take this account from $50,000 and generate over $4 million in profits in just a little bit over 7 months. But it's pretty cool, guys. So check it out. Go to the website, madazmoney.com. And scroll to the bottom again. Scroll to the bottom right there. Broker statements, track record, broker statements, bottom right hand corner, and check it out. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the 2020 year 2020 $50,000 account. And this is what happened with it, man. Took it again to $4 million. A little bit of a discrepancy there, but yeah, the official number was $4.17 million. 50,000 started in May 26, 2020. And again, made over $4 million on it. Maintained a 93% win rate over the entire 7 months, which is very, very statistically significant, considering the fact that I take an average of almost 24 positions per day, and we're talking about 7 months worth of data. So very, 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 very crazy to think that I've managed to maintain 93% over the entire 7 months. And with respect to the days, Monday and Friday still my weakest days of the week. But managed to get all the days green. It was a little bit of my pet peeve for me to see Monday or Friday red for some course during this this challenge, but managed to get it all green, guys. So mission accomplished. That was kind of bothering me for a little bit. With respect to the time, this is pretty cool, neat statistic that you can use to track when you perform your best, so you know when to kind of like focus and put most of your attention to if you do better during a certain part of the day, and then you know when to walk away when your edge starts to go away. So for me, obviously the open, no surprise there. Panic pop short, wash out long. The first trade in the first 15 minutes, usually big money, and then if I hold on to a position too long, maybe get greedy, miss a couple fills or something like that, that's where I start taking a couple hits. And then around after this time, 10:30, this is where stocks usually pick a direction and they kind of resolve themselves. So this is where the money comes back again. And then after that, volume kind of dies out throughout the course of the day. And that's why you see a decrease in profits as expected. So pretty cool to see this in action. But yeah, that's pretty much 2020 and the account. $50,000 account in 2020, what I managed to do with it. Again, you can check out the broker statements for yourself. And then, of course, there's going to be some guys that are going to say it's Photoshop. So for those of you guys that think it's Photoshop, we're going to go ahead and show you guys the actual statements on the screen. All right, so check it out. All right, guys, here's the broker statement for October the 1st to October 31st. Again, you can see this on the Madaz Money website. I just wanted to show this so you guys see that this is not a screenshot. It's a real web page, so you don't think that broker statement on the website is Photoshop, but you'll see right here the numbers will be the same. You'll see here at the bottom right there, 92,000 net. That's the same number that you'll see. Just want to skim through this really quick just to show that they're the same. Alright, so that's October. Alright, so here is November the 1st to November the 30th, 2020. So scroll down here real quick so you can see the numbers are the same thing. Again, not a screenshot. I can highlight its web page, an actual web page right there, 930,000. That's the same number you see on the broker statement screenshot on the madazmoney.com. Okay, last but not least, this is December the 1st to December 31st, 2020, and we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Scroll to the very bottom and show you guys right here the same numbers that you will see on the website. 67,331 net. You go to the website madazmoney.com, you'll find the same thing. So there you go. Again, just to show you guys it's not a screenshot. There you go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a little quick summary again. So $50,000 account challenge in 2020. We're going to go ahead and look at it. $50,000 to $4.17 million net of commissions from May 26th to December 31st of 2020. Pretty awesome. Here's some of the achievements from this account challenge in 2020. 163 five-figure days. This is crazy. This is very significant because in 2019, I only had 13 five-figure days. That's crazy, guys. I did not even realize how big of an increase that was. And when I actually looked at the statistic, that's when I realized, holy cow, what a change, what an improvement from 2020 over 2019. And then 26-figure days. Prior to 2020, I never had a single six-figure day, guys. It goes to show you again how epic 2020 was, how unprecedented the action, the opportunities, the liquidity, and all that stuff contributing to an epic year for me overall. So breaking records left and right. First seven-figure month, which is September 2020. Again, you can go look at the broker statement or go ahead and look at the YouTube video where I showed the broker statement. $1.18 million officially in September. First seven-figure month. Really awesome. Prior to 2020, I didn't even have a seven-figure year. So 2020 was the first seven-figure month in September and the first seven-figure year. So crazy. Just basically jumping from point A to point C there. 1.81 million in profits generated on Tesla, which is insane. Again, you guys probably know me as a small cap trader primarily. I didn't think I would come into 2020 trading a stock like Tesla and making that much money off of it. This is a very good chunk of this $4 million, if you think about it. But Tesla presented itself as a very, very good opportunity and a very tradable stock, very predictable, and I'm still milking it to this day in 2021. So It's going to be sad the day it goes away as a play, but as of now, Tesla, amazing stock, love it. All right, so you can go ahead and look at the broker statement. You'll see that generated $1.87 million on Tesla. You see right there. So you can see it for yourself by going to the Madaz Money website. All right, so negatives. Red month in October, end up with a net loss of $91,000. Had some big losses, totaling $2.26 million. So that's a lot of money. Lost $1 million on VVPR. Lost $369,000 on trying to bounce mRNA. Went a little bit on a bender on QS, admittedly, and lost $472,000 on that one. And then I lost $419,000 in ACY, actually fairly recently. So those are some losses I'd like to have back, or at least, you know, manage them a little bit better. And, you know, even if I lost at one point on VVPR, I was only down like $250,000. I could have just walked away with that, and then I ballooned it to $1 million. So that, you know, I could have managed that better. It would have changed a lot of things. But these are losses that, you know, loss is going to happen, right? Loss is going to be part of trading. But I think some of these, I think I probably could have made them a little bit more manageable. So these losses total $2.26 million, and yeah, I like to have some of these back. Now let's look at some of these numbers and see what we can do for 2021. Okay, so goals for 2021. And some of these may seem ambitious, but based on the data, they might seem actually a lot more feasible than you think. Okay, so I have a P&L target. I have a goal. I want to grow. Okay, for 2021, this is my target. So on the low end, I want to make $7 million this year. So this is based off of $28,000. This is if I do exactly the same as I did in 2019. As you can see, I averaged $28,000 per day. This is factoring in losses. So if I can pull $590,000 a month average for the entire year, I will make $7 million. Okay, that's basically if I have no growth. Now, on the upper end, I'm looking at $10 million, okay? At one point, I was averaging about $35,000, $36,000 before I took the $1 million loss, which brought my average per day down, average P&L per day down to the $28,000, and those other hits as well, bring it down toward the $28,000 mark. But I think I can grow. You know, I think this year I got a chance to grow, and I think I can do $40,000 a day, make about $840,000 a month. And that's not too far-fetched, because if you think about it, if you look at the broker statements again, you know, I had a $930,000 month in November, right? I had a $1.18 million month in September, $645,000 in August, $835,000 in July. So, you know, you can see that's very possible for me to hit these numbers. And obviously, the months where I had the losses in October, that's where I took the $1 million loss in VVPR. Had I just lost less, or, you know, like lost maybe, like I said, $250,000 instead of $1 million, you see this number would have been a lot higher. So you can see that it's possible for me to hit that mark, $840,000 a month. A little bit of a reach, but I think I can do it. Okay, so that will give me $10 million on the year. Now, a little bit of a more ambitious reach would be about $12 million, $50,000 per day. Right now, you know, so far in 2021, if you guys have been following me, I've had all green days so far. I had a pretty epic $144,000 day today. I think I'm averaging, let's take a look real quick. This year, let's see where we're at right now. So you see I'm averaging $72,000. Obviously, preliminary, 4 days in, that's just not enough sample size, but you can see that it's possible, right? You can see that it's possible for me to hit $50,000 per day, maybe. We'll see if I can do that. That'll be $12 million per year. That'll be pretty awesome. But realistically, I'm thinking probably I'm going to be around that 8.5, you know, somewhere between these two, the low and the high, 7 and 10. So about 8.5 million. If I hit that mark, that'll be pretty awesome. All right, so to do this, how am I going to do this? At least I need to maintain that 93% win rate. Hopefully increase it to 94, 95. At times I hit 94 over the course of that $50,000 account challenge in 2020. So we'll see, you know. It doesn't sound like much, but, you know, I like to improve. So be more careful with Mondays and Fridays. Those are my 2 weakest days. No surprise there. Increase performance on those days to be more consistent across all days of the week. So just gotta be more careful, okay? Over the 7 months, it was pretty clear that Mondays and Fridays were usually my most difficult days. Continue to milk Tesla as long as it stays in play. Tesla has been my bread and butter. It's been paying the bills. As long as it stays in play, I'm going to keep milking it. Been doing that so far in 2021, so I'm going to keep doing that. So yeah, made 1.8 million in Tesla 2020, so I'm going to keep doing that, averaging about $250,000 a month on just Tesla. That's pretty awesome. Another goal, I want to have my first 7-figure week, okay? First 7-figure week, and then subsequently my first 7-figure day, first 7-figure trade, and then my first multi-million-dollar month. I'm going to need to pull off probably one of these to realistically hit one of these goals, okay? $10 to $12 million. Need an SPI type play to and capitalize on it. If you guys recall, SPI was that stock that went up like 4,000% or something like that. That actually yielded my best day of my career, $356,000 in one day or something like that. So we need something like that, and I need to be able to capitalize on that and have a career day, record-breaking, record-shattering day on that to probably achieve one of these goals. Okay, so avoid or reduce the magnitude of these big losses. Again, we just talked about that in the previous slide, VVPR, mRNA, QS, ACY. I think a couple of those I could have had maybe a smaller loss, managed it a little bit better. A lot of times these stocks, they just kind of start, the liquidity starts drying up. They start acting really skippy. It gets really hard to stop out, and that's why the losses become a lot more difficult to look at. They become worse than they should be. So you gotta be a little bit more quicker on the trigger and manage them a little bit better. So, okay, so that's the presentation there. We're gonna go ahead and show you guys now the live trading footage from today, the epic Ncty trade. So hopefully you guys got a good gist of what I plan to do in 2021, and also the review of 2020. That's where I'm getting the data from to come up with these goals for 2021. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the Ncty trade. All right, guys. So here is the live trading footage from the trades I took today on Ncty. We're going to pick it up right here at 10:28, almost 10:30 on the clock. Basically, what happened so far is you can see that I'm down $224, almost $225,000 on the day. What happened was I took a short against this level, got ripped here, stopped out, took a loss, $75,000 loss basically. Flipped to long right here at 25, thinking that we we're going to get a continuation. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the, let's see here. I'm going to pull up a daily chart for you guys so you guys can see that this thing did have potential to make a nice move. Let's go ahead and take a look at it right here. So if you look at Ncty here, a break over this level right here, around 22 to around 26, would have probably sent it to this level right here. There's some resistance here around 31, but I was looking at maybe a target of $38. You can see that there's potential. There was potential for this thing to hit around this level. Okay, so that's what I was looking for on the long off of 25. Just didn't happen. It ended up topping out there at 27.82, and I was able to bias switch it and flip back to short. Unfortunately, I took a big hit on the long because I was sized up in the long thinking I was going to get a big move. The risk reward was there. You know, if it went to 38, obviously from 25, I had like a 25 something average, would have banked huge, right? So I had like 75,000 shares or something like that. Flip short eventually here once I recognized the tape was heavy, and right now we're going to pick it up right after the stock basically started showing a lot of weakness. I'm looking basically for a bounce back to this 25 level. This is where I went long initially. So if you're looking for a short, you want to see a rejection of the prior support acting as new resistance. And alternatively, if you're looking for a long, you want to see if it reclaims this 25 area for a move back to 26, 26, and then 27, right? 26.5, 27, the high of day, 27.82. So we're going to go ahead and pick it up right here and see what happens, okay? So again, this is 4x speed if you guys are new. And again, one thing I want to point out is there's always somebody in the comments section that says that for whatever reason they can't see the charts or the level 2. I don't know what you guys are talking about, okay? Let me know in the comments what you guys are referring to when you say you can't see the stuff, because this thing is really huge. I actually blew the level 2 and the chart up like 182% scale. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. Let me know in the comments, okay? Like if there's anything I can improve on, because this thing looks freaking huge on my screen. So maybe I'm not seeing something. I don't know. I compare this to other trading YouTube channels, and I think my level 2 and charts are like bigger than theirs. So let me know, okay? So I'm a little bit confused by that, but just let me know. But anyways, if you guys are new to my YouTube channel, I'm paying attention to this thing pretty much most of the time. This is the level 2 right here where you see my cursor. So this is level 2 market depth, or also known as the montage on Dash Trader. This is the time and sales right here, and this is a chart. Okay, so I'm also throwing in Tesla as a bonus if you guys want to watch this. Give you guys a little bit of rewatch value, I guess. If you guys want to watch me trade Tesla on the side, but we're gonna focus on NCTY for the purpose of this video. All right, so right here I'm looking at a pop to this 25 area. Let's see what happens. All right, so it's testing there. You see it's struggling a little bit there. You see on the offer, there's a big seller there at 25. So let's see if it can bust through 25. So you see it's a no-go. I take a starter here at 24, filled 26,000 shares. Tried for 50. I knew I wouldn't get the full 50, so I just tried to fill as much as I could. But yeah, got 26,000 shares there at 24.095. As a starter, basically against this 25 area. All right. So again, if you're looking for a short, you want to see this thing stall out in the 24s, right? Got a couple more shares there. Now I got the 50,000 there at 24.06. But again, if you're looking to short, you want to see this thing stall out in the 24s. You don't want to see a reclaim at 25, okay? You want to see a rejection of the prior support acting as new resistance. So that's what you want to see right here. So, and again, guys, this is playing at 4x speed. If you guys want to watch it in normal time, use YouTube's feature that allows you to watch it at 1/4 speed, so you get the normal time. So the level 2 actually isn't this fast, but with respect to time, we have to do that, or else this is going to be like a 3-hour video. But we see now it's rejecting there off of that 25 area, showing a little bit of weakness there. You know, I'm up on the trade now. 61,000 shares now. 23.99 average. Trying to get a couple more shares here. Trying to position myself. I kind of thinking at this point, it's acting like a little bit of a slippery slope. Now we're in the 22, so now I'm up pretty good, right? You see right there, my unrealized 1 second hit like 80,000. So we're basically seeing a reject of this 25 area, right? That's exactly what I was looking for. Again, you got to come up with a plan. You know, when the stock was approaching 25, one or two things could have happened. You know, it either rejects 25, offers a short opportunity, or reclaims 25 and possibly gives us a long opportunity. It ended up rejecting 25. You know, we saw the level 2 there, the seller at 25 holding it down and not letting it go past 25. So the short opportunity showed up, and I decided to take a stab at it. All right, so now I'm holding 84,000 shares at a 23.74 average. Again, the same thing applies. I really don't want to see this thing reclaim 25. I want to see this thing obviously bleed out, crack this support area in the 22s down, and make a move down to this 21 area. All right, that's where the next support level is. Okay. Now it's just kind of teetering around this 23 area. So I'm up 90,000 there. That's pretty good. Again, keep in mind, guys, I was initially short against this resistance, got ripped, flipped to long right here, looking for that move to 38, like I showed you guys on the daily chart, where the stock had room potential to go to 38. That didn't work out, so I have to flip back to short. So you're talking about a double bias switch here. Again, you know, if you're going to be wrong, don't stay wrong. My mistake on VVPR, as you see me now up 6 figures on this trade, my mistake on VVPR was that it played out similarly, but I held on to my long a little bit too long. I kept holding the long here, learning my lesson from VVPR. Now you see me up pretty good, stock hitting in the 21s now. So now you see the stock now breaking down this line. Now you don't want to see this reclaim 22. So if you're a short, you want to see this thing just continuing the breakdown, head toward this little 21 magnet, if you will, the next support level. It should gravitate toward that area. You don't want to see it reclaim anymore. But the bottom line is I'm looking pretty good because I got a 23.64 average, 100,000 shares now. I'm up $179,000. I'm probably at this point thinking I'm going to make most of my losses back. So a lot of you guys keep asking me, how do I keep calm and keep cool despite looking at these big losses? Again, it's relative to my account. I'm playing with a big account. But secondly, because I have conviction and I know my edge, right? I knew the setup was going to set up right there. Off that 25 reject, once we saw that stall in the 25s, I kind of figured that they were going to sell into that move. Now we're seeing that the bids are dropping off, sell pressure is coming in, and we're seeing cracks of this 22 support area. Okay, so again, this is the mistake that I did on VVPR, where I was really too convinced that it was going to continue on the long side because it was breaking out new highs. I was thinking maybe the shorts are going to be squeezed. But you got to recognize that the tape sometimes isn't going to tell you that story, right? The tape sometimes is going to act heavy. So NCTY, you can see that there was a lot of weakness. After that 25 reject, you can see there really isn't that many buyers. It's just now like a slippery slope kind of. So right now you want to see this thing just bleed out to oblivion. It's reclaiming 22 here a little bit, but let's see what it does. Again, I got a nice cushion here at this point on this trade. At this point, I'm pretty confident I'm going to make back the majority of my losses, if not all of it. You see Tesla making new highs there at 797. That's pretty cool. But yeah, right now, pretty much in the driver's seat there, up $200,000. So you see there, at this point, if I were to take the trade off the table, I'd break even. But I'm thinking this thing has potential. You gotta keep in mind that NCTY was a stock that started its run from $2 a couple days ago. This is a multi-day runner, guys. NCTY is a multi-day runner, and it's ran from $2. It hit $27. It's got a long way to go. The stock fading down to 18 or even lower than that is not out of the realm of possibility. Okay, so right now I'm looking to see if this thing shows any sign of buyers. Any sign of bids saving it. There will be a bid that will be saving it, but we'll show you guys in a second. There's gonna be a key moment coming up here. But right now it's looking pretty weak because after that breakout and that high was put in at 27.82, this stock pretty much was in free fall. There was a little bit of bounce there from 22 to 25, and now look at that. You can see that there's more red candles and green candles. You can see on the tape here there really isn't much bounce. There hasn't been much of a bounce. This thing's just acting like a slippery slope. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on this for a second here. 21s, again, this line here is going to come into play here shortly. Again, no magic here. It's just support and resistance, basic support and resistance. So we'll keep an eye on this. All right, so we're approaching that 21 level. I'm up $225,000. Again, basically breaking even on the day if I were to take the trade off. Now we see a bid there at 21.8, triggering a little bit of a reaction, but let's see if it actually sustains the move. Again, this is really nice when you have a nice average like this, 23.64. You can hold on through this chop, right? As long as you're in the green by a wide margin, you can stomach these moves. So it's really important to get good entries for some of these bigger picture trades. Okay, so again, that bid only pushed the stock up to around 22.3s or whatever it was, and it's back down to the 21. So not really much of a convincing bounce, if you will, for a stock that's faded from 27 down to 21. That's a pretty big, sizable drop. Not really much of a bounce. And you can just observe this price action right here. If you look at the level 2, okay, you look at the magnitude of the drop, a stock that's faded this much, you would expect a little bit more bounce, a little bit more buyers stepping in, maybe some short covers, especially at low of day like this. But really, fairly lifeless. And this is giving me a lot of confidence. There's another bid here. Let's see if that does anything. You see these bids that are showing up. They're not really triggering a major bounce. So that's giving me conviction to hold on to my short. You see the bid getting hacked at there a little bit. 2150 right there. There's 27,000 share bid. So I'm still holding on, man. I'm still in the driver's seat. I'm up, you know, give or take about $200,000 on the trade. But there's no real signs. If you look at the level 2 right here, there's no real signs of this stock showing any sort of, look at that, slipping down to 21. That bid got whacked. So that huge bid didn't even push the stock up at all, even back over 22 like that other bid did. So, you know, it's looking weaker. Look at that. I'm up, you know, 240,000 unrealized, but still, man, it's looking pretty good. So here's the first thing. So the stock's trying to break 21 there. You see there for a second, you see there is a bid that soaked it, right? So it's going to happen again. That's the first time we saw it. And this is when I first noticed that maybe they're going to try to do something with this 21 level. If you look at it, there are a couple prints that went through at 21. Slow it down, watch it again. A lot of prints went through at 21, and the stock should have probably tanked, but it didn't. So that's our first sign that maybe there's some buyers that are stepping in at 21. Maybe the manipulators are doing something with this 21 level. Maybe they're trying to trap shorts to trigger a squeeze. So let's see what happens here again. Okay, this 21 bid. You see a couple bids here at 21. So let's see what happens here. You see the stock still very weak. It's pretty much hanging by a thread, but there's bids here that save it. So that kind of has me a little bit, you know, cautious, if you will. I mean, obviously I'm up, you know, 2 points or more than 2 points, 2.5 points, but I'm still cautious. You know, I gotta be cautious. If they really got an agenda, here to prop this 21 level and potentially trap shorts and trigger a squeeze, then I better look to start getting out of my short, right? You gotta be objective. You can't just be blinded by, you know, your ambitions or your desires to want to make whatever amount of money, right? You know, well, as much as I want to cover this at $18, you know, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Here's 21. You see these bids? You see these prints going through at 21? You see that? All these prints going through at 21? This is pretty big. This is a big turning point, all right? A lot of prints going through at 21, but the stock's not moving. This tells you there's a hidden buyer here, guys. This is why tape reading is so important. There's a big seller there at 21.05. He gets taken out. So that 21 bidder is playing a role here in propping this stock up at 21. So now it's triggering a little bit of a bounce. But I'm not scared yet. Again, the reason why I'm not scared is because I got a great average. First of all, I got a great average. I'm in the driver's seat. And number two, the bounces, although, you know, the 21 bidder is propping the stock clearly, he's not really triggering a convincing bounce, right? It's giving like maybe it's getting a couple guys to freak out a little bit and hit the offer and cover probably. But that 21 bid is there. So right now, what I'm thinking is one of two things. And I told my guys live in chat. And again, if you guys want to see these trades live in chat as it plays out, be in chat, guys. madazmoney.com. Join the most awesome, amazing trading community there is, where we talk about this live as it unfolds. You know, was able to help a lot of the guys in chat make the right decision in the end, to hang on to this position and then eventually bank on the move once the stock eventually faded. But I was telling my guys in chat, I saw and recognized that 21 bid soaker, and I said one or two things was going to happen, right? Look at that. More 21 prints. Bid prop there again. One or two things. When you see a bid prop, there's one or two things. They're either trapping shorts to trigger a squeeze, or they're propping the bids so they can sell whatever shares they want to liquidate on the offer or sell into the pops. So that's usually the agenda, okay? So they're looking to either trap shorts to fuel a move higher, but to get that, you need to have more of a convincing bounce. Right, you need to have no sellers. Right now, what's going on is there's a prop at 21, but there's still a damper. You can feel that there's a damper placed on the move because there's bids, a lot of bids at 21. That hidden buyer, God knows how many shares he has. We don't even know because he's a hidden buyer. But you can see the stock is barely bouncing like 50 cents. This is a $21 stock. It's a low float stock, right? If their agenda, their intention was to really bounce the stock and squeeze shorts, this should be at 23, 24, 25 bucks right now. But it's not. So this is giving me confidence that that bidder is just solely there so that he can dump shares. There's a big offer there at 21.80. But my thoughts are basically that the bidder is there to hold up the stock at 21, So that way they can get some people to kind of panic cover, hit the offer, and the offer is basically them trying to liquidate their shares. So that's my idea. Although obviously things can change. If I notice the tape lightening up, you know, if they pull all the offers or something like that, then that would mean that thesis would be proven incorrect. But right now, again, always have a plan, guys. Right now, the two possible outcomes is either they're propping 21s to trap shorts, or they're propping 21s to sell their remaining shares, sell the remaining inventory, liquidate the remaining inventory. And then once they're done doing that, they're going to pull the bids, because this stock, you can see there's really no demand for this stock, right? If there was real demand, this stock would have bounced to 25, but it's not. So this is all just basically short covers and them selling on the offer. This is what I think. And once they are done doing that, there's no reason for them to prop the bid anymore at 21. They're going to pull the plug. So I did lock in some there just to take some off the table to reduce the risk. Watch this 21 here bid again. I got 75,000 shares now. Watch the 21s. You see there's still a bid prop there. Watch it. This is a key moment, guys. This is basically the key to this entire move. If you recognize this, you knew to either hold on to your short, or if you were long, you would know to stop out. Okay, so now I'm only down 177,000 on a day after locking in a couple bucks there, about $50,000 or so. But watch here, 21s. This is the key level. You see, there's literally no buyers here at 21. So let's see if we get any sort of sign that it might actually show real demand. There is a bounce in here at some point, but it immediately gets stuffed. We'll see that in a second, hopefully here. Watch the 21. They're still soaking 21s. Again, this is a pain in the ass to look at this in real time. And mind you guys, this is in 4x speed. When I was actually watching this as it unfolded live at like 1/4 this speed, it was quite an eyesore. Believe me, it's like watching paint dry. But you know, when you got 75,000 shares short on a $21 stock, 23.64 average, you better watch this like a hawk. But yeah, this is moving a lot slower in real time. But yeah, right now it's the game plan is still the same, guys. Still looking at this 21 bid. Right now, you know, there's a couple of people, you know, still bidding here in the low 21s. A little bit of a bounce. There's again another big offer. Another big offer stepping in the way there, like damping the move. Yeah, it's been the theme here. Again, this stock should be bouncing. You know, it should. It should. But it's not. Okay? And that's giving me conviction to hold on to the short. Keep an eye on, again, any signs of a move to the upside. 11:34 on the clock right now. There is one bounce in here. There it goes. Okay, so there's one skip up there. They pulled it off of there for a second. So the stock's at 22.30. So let's see if it actually sustains. You see immediately back down to 21.9s on the bid. So it might just been like an offer pull and then they sell into the move. See? So back down. Not really, not really convincing. Again, you want to see convincing moves. That was probably just a little pulling of these offers right here. They probably canceled some of these offers and it triggered maybe a couple stops. Some people freaked out there. It covered at 22, shook out some people. But for me, I'm looking for a convincing move. That was not a convincing move. See, it's back down to 21, just like that. You see that? So that's how you know, okay, man, at this point, I'm thinking, yeah, they're dumping shares. You know, they're dumping shares. Or because that move to 22 should have probably triggered a better squeeze, at least to 23, but it hit 22 for like a couple moments and it's back down 21. So that kind of told me, yeah, this thing is probably going to eventually drop. There's a bidder there at 21.30s. Let's see if that does anything to the stock. Now it's just basically back to what it was doing before the stock hit 22, right? It's just chopping around here at 21. They're just keeping it in this range so they can dump shares, guys. That's exactly what I was thinking. See, that bidder that was at 21.30s is gone. Sellers are back. Still very lifeless action. So again, at this point, if that 21 bid gets pulled, this thing's going to free fall. All right. So then back to where we were before. The game's at 21. We'll keep an eye on that 21 bid. You can see how heavy the tape is. You know, the stock's just bounceless. It's bounceless. Outside of that one little blip over 22, you could basically just consider that a little outlier move there, and it's just back to where it was. If you ignore that 22 blip, it really hasn't done much since cracking that 25. Rejecting 25, now back to 21. All right, so again, looking at that 21 bid, let's see the next time it gets tested, what will happen. But look how long they've been soaking this stock. They've been soaking it for over an hour at this 21 area. So I'm kind of curious how many shares they were able to liquidate between 21 and 22. And the guys probably cashed out a lot of shares in this range. You know, in this consolidation. Basically propping 21s and just selling on the offer into any pop as well. There's another attempted bounce, but it's just not really going anywhere. And again, it really helps to be in the driver's seat there with the 23.64 average, because these spikes are going nowhere near my average, allowing me to hold through all this. Again, watch 21s again. Again, it's just looking like a slippery slope here. Just running out of demand. Watch this 21. There it goes. Boom. You see that? So, you guys see how this played out, right? This is a very long video, but hopefully you guys find this very informative. Now you know. I'm in the driver's seat now for sure. I'm only down 165,000 on a day. I'm up 237,000 at this point in the day. I know I'm going to be green now. It's just a matter of how much. So, it played out exactly what I said it would play out, right? 21s, they propped it so they could sell on the offer. They sell into the move, and once they sell all of their shares, once they liquidate their entire inventory, there's no reason for them to hold it up at 21 anymore. They pull the bids. Plug pulled. That's as simple as that, guys. And there we go. Now this thing should probably free fall down to the next level, which is like 18s. So there it goes, 19s. Now look out, I'm up huge. $250,000 up on this trade now. Remember, I was already up. I already realized $50,000 earlier, so you know I'm up basically at this point $50,000 realized and another $250,000 unrealized. So I'm up $300,000 on this trade. So now at this point, I'm looking for there's a little level here, $20 psychological, but I'm really looking at this level here, pre-market lows, 18s, 18, 19s, high 18s. But yeah, at this point, I'm really in the driver's seat. You know, I can kind of hold this thing. We'll start probably progressively covering into the 19s just to reduce the size here. As we do note that the volume, we are approaching lunch hour. You know, 12 o'clock, the volume is going to be a little bit more weak. There you go. So covered some. We got a couple shares filled there. There. So covering some there just to lock it in. Got 62,000 shares left. All right. So yeah, you see me there. 58,000 shares, locking in some. Now I'm green on the short officially. Only down 102,000 on a day. This is how you come back, guys. You got to have conviction in your setups. You got to know what you're doing, right? So all the haters are going to say that I revenge traded. Guys, I must be pretty damn good at revenge trading because I've pulled this off time and time again. You know, I've done demonstrations of doing exactly this. If you guys seen the neural video where I did the same thing, bias switch, and then holding on with the diamond hands, and then making back the losses and then some. I do it every single day in the Madaz, my trading community. Covering some more there. I got 30,000 shares left. Now up 148,000 realized. up bank now. This thing is up down to $19. Again, it should be hitting this 18.7 area. This line right here, the pre-market lows. Amazing, guys. I'm green on the day now. Remember, I was down 225,000. $23,000 shares left. Covering some more. Now I'm up $50,000 on a day. 19,000 shares left. About to hit my target here on the remaining shares. Watching this 19 bid. I'm looking for a 19 wash here into the 18 area, and then we'll take it off. There you go. Watch it. 19 bids. Desperate bids, kind of holding this up. Last ditch effort. Covered like another 1,000 there. 18,000 shares left. Stock remaining heavy. Still no sign of a real convincing bounce. Again, looking for the 18 bids to get pulled here and a wash to the 18s. Watch it. Watch these bids. It's kind of doing the same thing it did at 21s, right? There's bids, but really not much of a reaction. Already locked in $200,000 on this trade. Actually, 250,000 because 275,000 because I was down on it. But now I'm green, $201,000 on the short of NCTY overall net. Still watching for the 19 bids to get wide. There it goes. Boom. So I'm all out of it. You see that, guys? All out of it. Now I'm net up $286,000, which means that I made what is it? $361,000, give or take, on this short. And that's how you do it, guys. That's how you have conviction in your setups, knowing what setups, knowing what you're dealing with, knowing the situation, reading the situation, getting the correct read on the situation, and then capitalizing onto the opportunity. Again, all the haters out there that don't understand how this works will say that I revenge traded. Guys, it was clearly defined. I said 25 was the clear risk level. Broke over 25, I would have stopped out and went long. But obviously, you hear it rejected at 25 as I expected. The stock faded to every single support level as I expected. I was watching to see if they were trying to control it with the bids to see if they could trigger a squeeze. They would not squeeze. They would just sell into every single move. And guess what? Once the bid was pulled at 21, the stock just free falls all the way down to 18. Up bank now, up 6 figures on a day, at one point being down $225,000. So that's how you do it, guys. Hopefully this video was informative. What an epic day. I ended up finishing this day up $144,000, and I'm already up close to $300,000 on the year in just 4 days. Hopefully we can pull off that eight figure year, guys. So far looking so good. Let's hope we can keep this up. But yeah, hopefully this video proved to be informative for you guys, to show you guys how you can execute really high edge trades despite taking losses, keeping calm, keeping cool, assessing the situation, and then nailing the trade that will help you recover and yeah, be deep in the green. All right, guys, so follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Twitter, that's where I post my P&L every single day when I'm not posting on YouTube and other trade ideas. Follow me on Instagram, where I post my shenanigans up there as well. And if you guys want to see these trades live, my commentary live, join manazmoney.com, where I speak live on the mic every single day, telling you guys exactly what I see on the tape and all these reads live every single day on the mic. So check it out, manazmoney.com. Other than that, we'll see you guys in the next YouTube video. So this is your boy Madaz, signing out.